Very good afternoon to one and all present here. Learning gives creativity. Creativity leads to thinking. Thinking provides knowledge, and knowledge makes you great. On this inspiring note, I extend my warm and heartfelt welcome to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor C.M. Tyagaraja, and today's chief guest, C.N. Murthy Sir, our respected Registrar, Shri Santosh Kamgod Sir, Register Evaluation, Professor D.N. Patil Sir, our Finance Officer, Srimati M.A. Sapna Ma'am, University Administrative Officers, and the teaching fraternity and the student gathered here for this memorable session and on topic Insights, Innovations and Exclusive Session. To begin with this auspicious occasion, on this, I would like to call Shrimat Madar for the invocation song.
Swami Neene Shashwata Neene Swami Neenu Shashwata Neenu ಎತ್ತಿದೆ ಬಿರುದ ಜಗವೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಎತ್ತಿದೆ ಬಿರುದ ಜಗವೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಮಹಾದೇವ ಮಹಾದೇವ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮುಂದೆ ಶಬ್ದವಿಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ನೀನು ಶಾಶ್ವತ ನೀನು ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ನೀನು ಶಾಶ್ವತ ನೀನು ಪಶುಪತಿ ಜಗಕ್ಕೆ ಏಕೈಕ ದೇವಾ ಪಶುಪತಿ ಜಗಕ್ಕೆ ಏಕೈಕ ದೇವಾ ಸ್ವರ್ಗ ಮಾರ್ತೆ ಪಾತಾಳದೊಳಗೆ ಸ್ವರ್ಗ ಮಾರ್ತೆ ಪಾತಾಳದೊಳಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ನೀನೇ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ದೇವ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ನೀನೇ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ದೇವ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ನೀನು ಶಾಶ್ವತ ನೀನು ಎತ್ತಿದೆ ಬಿರುದ ಜಗವೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಎತ್ತಿದೆ ಬಿರುದ ಜಗವೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ನೀನು ಶಾಶ್ವತ ನೀನು ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ನೀನು ಶಾಶ್ವತ ನೀನು.
Thank you, Shrimat Sir. Now, to take a green and positive beginning to today's proceedings, I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor and esteemed guests on the dais and other dignitaries to inaugurate this section by watering the plant. Thank you. I now request Professor Y.S. Balwadgol to welcome the gathering and to introduce today's chief guest.
Good afternoon to our Honorable Vice Chancellor and the chief guest, Mr. N C Murthy, and respected Registrar, Finance Officer, University Administrative Officers, teaching fraternity and students. Is it okay? Is it audible? Okay. Imprimis, I would draw the attention of this August hall to the magnificent profile of N C Murthy. Today, we are immensely privileged to have among us a distinguished global business leader, technologist and a philanthropist as our chief guest, Mr. N C Murthy. Mr. N C Murthy is a serial entrepreneur, a technology investor, and currently serves as the CEO of ACM Business Solutions, based in Florida, USA. With 3 decades of global leadership, he boasts a phenomenal track record of founding, scaling, and successfully executing 6 companies across the technology, healthcare, and chemical sectors. An alumnus of Osmania University and NIT Mumbai, now in Mumbai, in parenthesis, his career began in the US with Tata Initials in 1987, paving the way for his remarkable and entrepreneurial journey. Beyond his corporate achievement, Mr. Murthy is deeply committed to philanthropy and education. Through his initiative, he has transformed rural education, empowered youth through employability skill development, and created learning opportunities across Karnataka and Telangana. Sir, we are honored by your presence today. On behalf of the entire university family, a very warm welcome to you. Now let me introduce or give you some information regarding this university. Sir, I on this day feel greatly and vivaciously exalted to extend a grandiose welcome to a world-renowned, munificent philanthropist N C Murthy. To this stately but still young and sprouting Rani Channamma University towards its presence phase. Sir, this pristine university is being affiliated with a galaxy of 380 colleges and is one of the gazillion universities in the state, catering to the prismatic, skill-centric and recondite academic records of 1.4 lakhs of students of this region. This is in fact an this is an androphilic and anthropolatory institution. Further, it is fervently agogging to see its relevance in the rapidly transforming the global, techno-scientific landscape, heralding the newfangled skills, and the university has consistently been swinging to regale the skill appetite of the students and make them globally relevant and across the flourishing techno-scientific advanced sectors and in terms of employment and otherwise. In the backdrop of this pursuit, the university has successfully galloped to have a memorandum of understanding with variegated gleaming institutions that have proved to be eximious in the given fields. Recently, on 27th August 2025, a Section 8 company was established which is named as RCU Foundation for Entrepreneurship, Skilling and Management Academia, KRCU-FESMA in parenthesis, by Kitturu Rani Channamma University in strategic collaboration with the Deshpande Skilling. Born from vision to bridge the gap between academic learning and industry requirements, KRCU-FESMA is dedicated to fostering an ecosystem of innovations, skill development, and management capacity building. Our primary focus is to empower students, particularly those from rural and underprivileged backgrounds, by equipping them with the vital tools for sustainable livelihoods. Through our core initiative, the Entrepreneurship and the Skill Development Program for students, we strive to nurture entrepreneurial thinking and provide expert career guidance and deliver structured training that transform students into industry-ready professional and future leaders. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, the most circumspectory, Professor C.M. Thakraj, since the day that he adorned the position of Vice Chancellorship of this invaluable institution, drudging to fulfill the macro desires of students on an endurable basis. Our respected register evaluation, finance officers have also been seamlessly plodding to transfer in tandem with Vice Chancellor to fructify the multifarious educational, especially the skilling needs of the students. However, this university is vibrantly and vigorously striding towards its goal as an anastomosis across the distinct and uniquely cohesive socio-economic fraternities to achieve an integrated development of the nation, implanting the neoteric skills. Thank you one and all.
For your warm welcome address, I now request our Finance Officer, Srimati M.V. Sapna Ma'am, to share a few words on this occasion.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Good afternoon. So we have a whole lot of talented people on the dais. So Honorable Vice Chancellor, Murthy Sir, Registrar Evaluation Ravi, all faculty, students. So all of you are aware, and Professor Balwant already told about what FESMA is all about. So when we talk about RCU-FESMA, it's one of the first Section 8 companies to be established by a public university. All kudos to all the stakeholders. So it has been started not just for skill development and placement, but also for entrepreneurship, but baby steps, at a time. I am reminded of a famous quote, in fact, some attributed to W.B. Yeats, that education is not the filling of a pail, but igniting a spark. And that's exactly what, FESMA intends to do, the spark of getting that skill, bridging the gap between education and employment. So it started off with a lot of initial, going around how to go about and all that. And then with Deshpande Skilling coming into the picture, we have got Skill Plus for final year students, and we also have Kaushalya Abhiyan. So, and I'm sure that Sir is aware that we have succeeded in placing a lot of students. So the details, we have more than around 50 students who are already placed, and some of them are still undergoing training. So this endeavor has commenced for entrepreneurship also. So that's something that also has to be developed in the students. The way we are thinking now, we are going to be employed, and in future we are going to employ people, and that's how the development happens. As you all are aware, the manufacturing sector has taken a brunt in our progress industrially. So I hope that somewhere this gap has to be bridged. And when we are talking about the skill training that is going on, especially in some of the colleges where you have a lot of rural students, if you get to see the confidence of the students, the first day, the second day, and towards the end of the, curriculum, towards the end of the program, when you see the confidence of the students, it's amazing. I get a lot of satisfaction. In fact, I've interacted a few of them. The way they had the ability to go about inculcate, of course, the credit is also with the trainers as well as the trainees. So that is something that I have really enjoyed, and I appreciate the kind of environment that has been created. It is difficult, no doubt about it. We have a lot of challenges, we have got a lot of difficulties, but the response, especially in the last few weeks, have been really enormous and encouraging. So we hope to take it forward. As of now, I think we are going ahead with the next 25 colleges, but our target is 50 towards the next few months. And then probably looking at the kind of results that have been achieved, I'm sure it's going to go a long way. So the kind of information that has been generated about RCU-FESMA, in fact, a lot of other vice chancellors whom I know, they are asking, like, how did it happen and all that. And so I have to, with the permission of vice chancellor and registrar, we share the success stories with them, like how it has happened and what actually has undergone into it. So that is, people are looking up, and even at the state level, it has gained a lot of recognition. We had so many people politically, educationally, and all sectors, talking about it and asking how it has happened. But now we've commenced with it. It has to go forward, and it has to reach its goal step by step. That is what our intention is. So I wish that our endeavor succeeds, and all the stakeholders also participate in it to the maximum, so that this is going to be a leading example not only in the state but the whole of the country. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request today's chief guest, Shri N C Murthy sir, to address the gathering.
Everybody, So it was wonderful to see you're such a dynamic vice chancellor who is so enthusiastic about making changes. He's feeling that he's only 2 years left to make a lot of things happen. So he's on a 24/7 mission to make things happen. And I think that Skill Press program is a very good addition to the college, where we see that the gap between what we teach and what's in the industry. We're able to bridge the gap, and especially with so many things being uncertain now, just the life skills, the aptitude, reasoning, and the confidence is the main foundation which will help them through. And so in that regard, I think it's a great program. So if any other teacher wants to go to Hubli, please let me know. Let the teacher know. I'll talk to the vice chancellor. I'll sponsor a few teachers for the training. It's just the way you teach, the way you relate, the way you do things to the students. And I just want to tell you that I hold the teachers in the highest regard because among everyone, I think they are the ones who can make the most impact. And what they do is full of sacrifice, because they take a job. For example, if you're a top attorney or a doctor, you still make the sacrifice to be a teacher in the medical school, though you could be making a lot more money in the hospital as a specialist, because you have that calling to teach the people. So I believe that all the teachers are number one, in my opinion, in the society, because they really make the nation. In that regard, I wanted to share a small story, which is my favorite. It is a school teacher comes in the 4th grade, and she sees among all the kids, she sees one kid not very shabbily dressed, not paying attention, not really being a good student, and she almost took a delight in putting F grade on his test papers. So it was a week before Christmas, before the Christmas break, and when she writes the grade report, she was required to do a trend report, seeing that what was his grades in the previous years, so she could tell what the trend was. When she saw the previous years, she thought that this guy was excellent student in 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. His mother had passed away, and then he was a little bit impacted. Then his father remarried with his stepmother and totally withdrawn. So then his behavior became all different. And so when she saw all that, she started, with tears in her eyes, she started seeing the report. And next day was the last day before the Christmas break, and everybody brought presents. And he had brought a small brown paper bag, and all the kids were laughing. In that paper bag was a half-filled perfume bottle and a bracelet, pearl bracelet with a few pearls missing. Because she had read the report, she opened it first and sprayed the perfume, put the thing, and she said, "Thank you." And for the first time, she saw Tommy smile. And then, because she started taking interest in him after the break, and he started to respond. And very soon, he became his old self, very studious, very well behaved, being one of the first rankers. So at the end of the school year, he told the teacher, "Mrs. Thompson, you're the best teacher I ever had." So same thing, he went to the 5th grade. Every year he would write a letter to her. "You were still the best teacher I ever had." So he kept writing that every year, even after he went to college. And one day when he wrote the letter, his title was an MD, so he had become a doctor. So later on that spring, he wrote a letter to her saying that, "I'm getting married to a young girl I fell in love with. Would you do the honor of being the mother of the groom?" Because his mother had passed away. So she went to the wedding wearing the bracelet and the perfume. And then he says, "You're the best teacher I ever had." She says, "No, you got it all wrong. Till I met you, I was teaching subjects. So you told me how to teach a student." So today's environment, you don't know what subjects are relevant. There's ChatGPT, so much distraction. The only thing you do is you have to inspire the student to be confident, so that they can face the confidence. Like I'll tell you my own example. I was in Voltas as assembly manager, I did not know any computers. This was in 80s, and 85. And then one day we had a guest speaker come in and give a lecture. He said, look, during independence, there were two kinds of people. One knew English, one did not know English. The people who knew English ended up getting officers' jobs. The people who didn't know English kept doing, peon job, other jobs. So he said, same thing will happen in the 80s about computers. And I really got scared. I said, man, I don't know anything about this. Let me jump into it. So I tried to go to Tata. I did not know any material at all. So they had an aptitude test. I asked my roommate 3 times, tell me the difference between object code and source code. He said, look, man, you don't get it. Why are you wasting your time? Like, I still went to write the exam, aptitude test, and after I wrote the exam, I was walking out because I had a day off that day anyway, because Hindu-Muslim riots in Thane. So the lady comes running and said, what are you doing? I said, look, I don't know any computers. I can't do any interviews. I just wrote the test because I had nothing else to do. She said, you can't be wasting our time. She come in and to the interview board, and there were like 7 people sitting with 3-piece suits and all that. So they asked me, what is it? I said, look, all I heard is you have a magical training program where you turn, I told them in Hindi, like you turn donkeys into horses or something. So they all laughed. I said, then they said, why should we take you? I said, look, you should take a person who's willing to learn quickly because things are changing. If I took 10 years to learn COBOL, if you take me tomorrow, I have to learn some of the language, you can't use me because it'll take 10 more years to learn that. So then they again laughed, and then they asked me, why would you take a 50% pay cut? I was willing to take a 50% pay cut when I didn't have enough money. I was sending all the money home because I saw the future, investment in the future. So then I told him that I know the color of the grass on the other side of the bank. Again, they laughed. I thought they said, we are done. I walked out and they gave me the appointment letter. And then now the rest of the people are going for group discussions, technical interview, and I got the offer letter and I couldn't take it because I was very high up in Voltas. It took me 2.5 months to negotiate my exit. But the point being that confidence, if you inspire your students to say, listen, I'm willing to take the opportunity, I'm willing to learn, that will give them the tools to survive because everything is changing around us. And the second thing is, if there is a way to, the Vice Chancellor is such a visionary, if you can have a program like Germany, where you work 3 days, take 2 days of tutoring in a classroom lessons, it's a hybrid program. So at the end of 3 years, you get a nationally recognized degree with a vocational in banking or automotive or nuclear medicine, or MRA, all these technicians. That would be a way to distinguish yourself because. And the last point I would like to say is please inculcate in all your students the dignity of labor. The person is different from the job they do. I have investors in India, in US who are billionaires. They'll coolly tell, my daughter is a hairdresser, my son is a mailman. They don't even feel one bit shy about it because they realize the person is different from the job they do. So if I have a good vocational ability to be a top-notch AC person for a big industry, commercial AC technician or a manager, there's nothing wrong. Then it's no less than a white-collar job in a company, And like the person said before that, 80% of the jobs are created by small industries in US. So you cannot have Reliance and Tata's hired 1 billion people. So we have to create that. So as part of the entrepreneurship program, I know of a group that sets up incubation. They already set up in 5 universities in Mangalore and other areas. He used to work as a CEO of Atal Mission in Andhra Pradesh. So I'm going to sponsor the cost to create an incubation program in your university, so that people can, firsthand understand entrepreneurship and see opportunities. That's all I want to tell you. Again, thank you again. It's my great honor to talk to teachers. Thank you. Like I said, I didn't know any computers, so I went and joined Tata University. They trained me for 4 months. Really good training. And of course, they take advantage of it. So they send me on a project where they didn't even teach me. So I had to learn it on the plane. So first day I was like, man, I don't know if I should open my mouth, I don't know what these guys are knowing. And then I realized they were saying this Indian guy doesn't talk at all in the restroom. And I was in Houston, of all the places, all tall, redneck guys, But anyway, I figured out it was not that difficult. So then I realized that, one thing we found was that background which we have, I don't know if it's true, from what I heard, whenever you have rice growing areas in the south, they are very good in logic and mathematics because of the generational ability to see how much water you to have based on the rainfall calculations. So if you look at all rice growing areas, you'll find people good in math. And the finance ministers normally come from South or West Bengal, and the only aberration was Yashwant Sinha from Bihar. Other than that, it always be from the rice-growing states. So computer something came naturally. And then after I worked for a year, and I wanted to come back here and start something here, but whatever fate had different plans for me. So I lost my passport. I got stuck in Detroit, and there I worked with a company. I helped them recruit some people. He said, look, I can't let you go back because you're doing so good. So we built the company up from 60 to 300. And then I left the job, and I went around the world. And while traveling, I realized that I could help recruit people from India for US jobs. And my claim to fame is I recruited the Chandrasekhar and the Tata chairman. So in 1990, he signed the appointment letter, but Kohli knew his value even then. So he called my boss, called the person in US, said, you can't touch him. But I said, look, I got him to sign the offer letter, so you need to pay me my fee. So what I'm saying is I could recruit on the side, and then I went back and opened a company. And one thing I have is I've given at least 1,000 green cards to Indians. So I think I've contributed more than $1 billion to. And the important thing is we have to treat each other well, because if we exploit, then the Americans will say, look, they do it to themselves, why can't we do, So I told them, look, you trusted me and came 10,000 miles away, we'll make sure that you are taken care of. So that's one thing we all have to learn is because whenever we are not united, somebody else will take advantage of us. So, and after I built the company, I had one son. I'm just telling you because you asked me a story, I'm telling you. So then we had 2 nannies, and I said, what are we doing? We want to spend time with the child. We sold the company. My wife was supposed to work for 6 months, and I was supposed to work for a couple of years, but she got sick with the Lou Gehrig disease, which is a terrible disease where you can't speak, you can't walk, you can't even lift a finger. So then, though I had all the money to treat, we went around looking for solutions. Normal prognosis is 1 to 3 years, but because I did all the research, went to all the international conferences, I expanded elongated her life to 16 years. 16 years she was on a ventilator, breathing machine, on a PEG tube. She was not able to even move one muscle, so we had an eye computer with the eyes to be able to write something for 3 hours to write 1 page, because you had to calibrate looking at a NASA-built computer. So anyway, so she passed away in 2012. But meanwhile, my son, I was at home. He was 7 years old. I said, what will you do when you grow up? Just like my dad, sit at home and do stock market. So I said, oh my God, he never seen me work. Because he was only 2 when she got sick and I quit. So I went and acquired a company, ERP company. And then we, just 10 minutes away from home. So then we built it and sold it again. And then I did another insurance company. And then there was some misunderstanding with him. He went to Babson Entrepreneurial School. It's the #1 school. I want you all to look it up so that if you see some courses you have to teach, it's the #1 school for entrepreneurship, 29 years in a row for undergraduate program and 30 years in a row for MBA program. So only industry people are allowed to teach. So Sony CFO, like that only would teach. No other, there can only be professors for work from the industry. So anyway, so he wanted to do something in pharma, so I sold my company and we ended up buying a chemical company. And there was some design fault, whatever, that blew up, but we fixed it and sold it. And then we did some med tech devices. Meanwhile, he went to MBA in Yale, and he realized there's so many opportunities we could do because he wanted to learn what is entrepreneurship. So when we did the medtech device together, we did a cardiac mapping system to reduce the time for ablations. So it was across industries, different. The principles are the same. Learn quickly, use the same techniques, so we could do it. So and then now he's doing large language models for pharmaceutical CEOs dossiers, and I do some real estate now, but I mostly devote my time helping students in 26 schools, SIV schools, colleges, and I work with the office of the principal scientific advisor, and we do some rural youth empowerment by entrepreneurship, getting technologies developed by IITs, IIMs, and propagate to the rural community by having some people trained on it, and they'll make a living selling those technologies. For example, some power weeders or cooling carts. So we'll train them on those technologies, and they'll sell to the rural folks and make a living. So it's not very glamorous life, but it was a journey where I had to, all in all, I had to keep my family as my first priority. So I always worked only 10 minutes from home, so I could be there for my wife, because I was the primary caregiver. I didn't give that responsibility to anybody else. Even when I came 15 days in a year to India to see my parents, I would still be responsible getting all the readings on the phone. So that's why I had to, do within my constraints few companies, but that's where I am today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful talk and sharing your life journey with us. Now it's time to honor our chief guest. I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor C.M. Tyagaraja sir, and other dignitaries on the dais to felicitate our chief guest.
Yes.
All of us today very specially. Two stories, part 1 and part 2. Part 2 was very, very emotional and emerging. But really, on behalf of all my colleagues, profoundly thank you for your very caring and personal expression and also professional expression. Respected Murthy sir, our very dynamic registrar, Shri Santosh Kamgoda ji, and we have Professor D.N. Patil, Registrar Evaluation, Finance Officer Madam Sapna, and Mr. Ravi and Dr. Balwant Boli is there, and deans and friends, all colleagues, research scholars. This is a very beautiful day in Rani Channamma University once again. Since morning 11 a.m. to till now 3 hours basking with Murthy sir, 4 things came to me. One is that, every human being has potential. First P is potentiality. The potentiality level that we have to raise over a period of time. That potential has to rise with the time. The second that I started with this is that potentiality added to performance, purpose. We should have purpose. We should not deviate left, right and all. With potentiality, we should grow straight. So the purpose matters. Then thirdly, the purpose also, productivity should also come in. Then number 4, when seeing him on and on and on, ನಾನು ಯಾರೋ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಗಳು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನ. I am with some Swamiji today, not from America. A peace is full on his face, 360-degree peace. So these 4 P's, not of our marketing and business and economics, but truly in a genuine journey, really matters so much. The 40 years journey of Sir, how much that he cared. He has shown the photo, the snap. It touched so much. How much we love families, how much we care them. Is it paisa ka business? Nahi hai. It is a very existence, the sweetness of connect, attachment, giving, growing, enjoying. And when you go home in the evening, again, all are united. In the morning, before coming, you clean everything and do everything and come here. What a, beautiful way that we all created our lives. morning, again ready, get up, we prepare, care, share, love, come here. Then the same clock for 30, 40 years of journey, making you towards the path of peace. In the journey, the productivity is the third P that comes in life. That is the thing which gives all of us a very solid strength inside. Come what may, I'm going to do this. So experiments in our own life, in our own way, in our own natural, acquainting and also, dispersing both ways, that is going to make our life purposeful. In this journey at Rani Channamma University, all of us are assembled, unified, united because of that act of God. That's a super act. He has united all of us here with energy, force. This force now has reached a stage where the world is in that stage and we are in this stage. Fortunately, 140,000 students God has gifted to all of us. We can give them better curriculum, better skilling, better training, better positive hope. That, come on children, I am with you. We care your life. You are important to us. You are connected to my soul. That's what Vivekananda said. Every individual, that's what Sarojini Naidu said. Every soul who comes to us is a gift of God. Care that soul with your knowledge, with your character, with your way that you have acquired, what you have acquired. Not our personal acquisitions of wealth that the children care. They want our good words. They want the positive way that how best that we can change them. When such things are there, the life lessons of Mr. Murthy makes us very, very touched and transformed. So, on behalf of Rani Channamma University, time and again, that I wanted to thank Mr. Murthy for having made his time to come, because only 15 days, within those 15 days, Ravi hijacked sir to come to Rani Channamma University alone. We are a little selfish too. So, thank you very much for a very special place that you gave to Rani Channamma University. And Rani Channamma University requires more and more support from very benevolent personalities like you. Why? Because we have student community, they have no language, they come with so much of moffizzle, very poorest backgrounds. About 30-40 years back, no water for them, no education. Even today, it is no much change when we go to classroom and interact with them. Many feel that they have to go to some jobs for their very subsistence. Parents are unable to support them. They hinge on to this public transport system, and where they try to learn, but they are so tired souls by 18-20 years of age. And unfortunately, the digital age, they may be carried away with all our social sites, this and all. Somewhere that we have the feeling that we should see that these souls are touched at the right time. That's why me and my team are working hard to involve them, engage them through various initiatives in the university. We have a e-Vidya portal where all classes are taught. Now they are ready, if they are working somewhere, they can listen to the classes and write. Because bread matters more. We cannot teach to a hungry cat. Bread matters more. Otherwise, there are some cases where they may drift to some other antisocial activities. Someone said yesterday, police officer telling, there are gold smugglers in youth. There are characterless youth. There are yesterday police officer with us. Thus we wanted to check it. Fortunately, in Rani Channamma, and also drug abuse here, becoming terrorists, becoming something else. We don't want to see such society at any point of time, because we want peace in journey of life. Our life should fulfill the purpose ultimately. This peace and purpose will come when you grow some plants, when you help someone in the hospital. When silently there are many friends here, so they help. They help many students who are unable to pay fee. They never said us. They supported them, I know them. There are many friends sitting here indirectly. They encouraged them. They try to pacify when they are in pain and problem. Such souls, such friends are here. That's why I wanted to share with you that when such is a background, we are trying with one more initiative, e-Sparda, where competitive examination online, that we are giving them coaching just at 100 rupees per student, 100 or 110 rupees, where private sector is charging 40,000-50,000 rupees, and where best lessons are taught. I want my friends to join and there give their talent, ability, knowledge to tell students in the competitive examinations, you all have to care this. That's why the society can be bettered. Society cannot be bettered with some only preaching, but only by practices that can be better. When we pull them together, Ubuntu will go good, come on, I am with you. We all run together, we'll catch it. One fine day we can make better, and even they will be influenced. That's how the change emerges. When we see Bangalore and Delhi yesterday, why all that is happening in the name of NEET? So much is happening in this country. It may be NEET, it may be KPSC, it may be something else. We all watch this, but how to correct this? How to correct this? That matters. Simply commenting is no meaning at all in our life journey. Oh, chanagilla. Oh, fine. Anybody can tell that. But what's your contribution to correct it? Our contribution to correction matters. We have to be that there because we are teachers. Ultimately, we are teachers. Till the last breath, we are teachers. They will not call us anything. You made 8 sides, 10 sides, big bungalow. You came in that car, nothing doing. No one bothers about. But this teacher made it. That at university level, the professors should be the torchbearers. We have to remove the darkness. If we don't remove the darkness, who else? Let us not compare to someone in some other university who is not doing. Let us do, let them follow us. That's what is the message that we should develop that inside. That's why when we see Mr. Murthy, we request you to link our university with international platforms. Number one, where our teachers can go and come and learn. Our young teachers, there are about 50 assistant professors, sir. They are becoming associate professors. In another 2 years, everyone will become a professor in this hall. All 70 are going to be professors in 24 months. They should get appropriate opportunities. For that, we are working on very seriously to equip them with appropriate research technologies, appropriate, contemporary exposures which is required, and the whole team in the university and syndicate, academic council, and even they are responding so much that they want to bring the change. In this way, our journey is going on. But really seriously, that all these campuses this year will give them a lot of energy. The science city there, business school and humanities here, language school there. And they are going to, morning I was talking to Professor Konnur who called me. We wanted to conduct a national conference in Rani Channamma University. I said, my auditorium is ready. In January, you can conduct one national conference from library science. We invite all 600, bring best people, we'll give free food. Santosh, without your permission, I said it. Finance officer, madam. Vaisa hai, vaisa answer. I said, no charge for anyone who comes here. You have to manage accommodation, you have to manage guests, but this one will give infrastructure. Similarly, our 20 departments, 2 conferences, 40 we can conduct, best auditorium that we are built, on par with national auditorium. You see, state-of-the-art auditorium, all 600 learning, growing, we can see a movie there, and enjoying the time, and dedicating to infrastructure like a central university or some reputed institute. When we all gel like this, we can build, contribute, so that the students who come here, their soul is charged. And it will feel, I can do something for this country. No longer that he will start chasing only for bread, some naukri, kodri, pagara, barli. These are the 2 horrible words that any human journey can chase. If we develop potential, he will not bother about pagara. He will not bother about anything because potentiality is missing. Sir, you said very rightly, dignity of job. What a lovely word. What a lovely word. ಇದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ, ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ, ಮಹಾವೀರ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ, ಅದು ಚೇರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಜೋಡಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವನ್ನ ಖುಷಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕದು. It is not for someone's joy or ceremony. No, they are not in proper line. I should see that those things are in line. It is not clean, let me clean it. When we volunteer like that, things will happen in any system. That's how great institutions and nations are built. We cynically speak so many things, but we don't practice. I heard sometimes, yesterday, my friend was telling that, hey, ನಾನು ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುವಂಥ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರಂತೆ some teachers. I felt so sad. That's so sad. We are independent, capable. Murthy sir was carrying water bottle all the way from Samulilanda College top, 2nd floor. I don't want to waste water. You see how beautiful? The principle in action. The principle in action. What principles that we develop? One more P. Peace principles. 5 P's it has become. So, in this journey, my friends, we are best today. We have heard a wonderful story, personal story, to very touching story. And this story of giving that made me very much moved today. Thank you to Ravi and Naik sir at the Deshpande Foundation. They are doing wonderful work at Rani Channamma University, and we are now a little jealous of them. They are not. They are going to other universities, and they are going to 4 or 5 universities, and they are not completing the promise of helping 10,000 students getting the job. Only 4 schools, so 40 schools they are telling. Only film show it has become. I want it to be a reality that I want that 30,000 graduates go every year, and we all can do certain things possible with 100 schools, skilled schools. It is possible to give them better communication, better technology. The trainers will go and coach there. And in the endeavor, sir, 10,000 rupees we take from each student to make them participatory. Some revolving fund we are thinking, if some, national platform, international platform, if they keep that money in their account, no problem, we don't want money. Let the money be in their account. These boys and girls who are unable, we can subsidize them by 10,000 to 5,000 rupees from that fund, and that fund will come back to that fund again. We don't want any for hard earned. Please, you must note. Just like the funds that what you are earning is very, very sacred. I use the word sacred. Whatever you want is sacred. I should make pranam to that. It is that you have saved. If you read India Express today, you will be horrified that youth today spend more than what they are earning. The saving is going to be less than that's what the percentage. That's what they said. What they were saying in 2010, 2000 and 2027 is horrible in the age group of 20 to 25. That's what you can read in papers today also. But I respect it. Similarly, if someone contributes, this also that we should see the power of the soul. That Madam Sudha Murthy wanted to help Rani Channamma University. In particular, it's only Murthy he linked. Similarly, we look at such platforms to make students in rich schools, in other autonomous colleges, so they have well-to-do. They don't want anything. They don't want anything. But here when boys and girls come, when the buses come, they're such a background. That makes me, morning I was reading some idioms and phrases. Sir, the people think that only white hens lay white eggs. But we want to prove black hens also lay white eggs. Rural India, poor India, boys and girls from small families, they speak good English, good technology, make better life. If there's a pledge, that's enough for human journey. These are my words from my heart, and time and again, thank you very much, sir, for your contributions. Thank you, dear listeners.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring presidential remark. I call Dr. Nandini Devarmani ma'am to propose vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all. Dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, my dear colleagues and my loving students. It's my privilege to present the vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion of Insights and Innovation and exclusive session. It was really a wonderful session, and we are all inspired for your journey, sir, for sharing your journey. I place on record our gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, the President of this function. Thank you, sir, for rising. I thank Sri N C Murthy, sir. Sir, really you are an inspiration. This is the second time I am meeting you, once at Deshpande Skilling last time. It's a really pleasure to have you in our, all the RCUBNs over here place the record of gratitude to you for sparing your time. Thank you once again. I also thank our respected Registrar, sir, Sri Santosh Kambuda, sir, Register Evaluation, DN Patil, sir, our Finance Officer, Srimati Sapna ma'am, and Shri Ravi Chavan, sir, from Deshpande Skilling. Sir, your participation with RCU is really a great pleasure, and we hope we have a long journey to go with you, with your kind cooperation and guidance. Thank you. I also thank all the deans of various schools, the chairpersons of all the departments, the faculty members, the research scholars, and the students. Thank you one and all.